Hi, I'm Dave Carter with DCathlete.com. Today I'm going to go over a couple of my favorite grappling drills, especially for solo training. You can use this either for Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, submission wrestling, standard wrestling, also for MMA training, anytime you need to really work on your ground game. One of the most important things in any sport or even in life is your transition and how smooth it is. In Jiu-jitsu, it might be how fast you can transition from your triangle into your arm bar into your omoplata. In life, it might be how fast you can transition from waking up, getting dressed, getting your breakfast, and getting your work on time. And then the transition from getting off work and then cutting through traffic as quickly as possible and efficiently to getting home, or me going to the gym. So think of it that way. And same as in boxing, it could be how fast you transition from doing a jab into a cross, into a hook, into an uppercut. Or in kickboxing, how fast you transition from throwing a jab and going into a round kick or a spin kick or something like that. So what I'm working on, and what we're going to show today, is a couple of different positional changes you can really do on a bag at home or at the gym when you got some supplemental time. And for those who really want to up their game. I like doing this for like 5-minute rounds at a time. First round usually is just all positional. Second round, I might throw in some submissions. And third round, if I'm working for MMA, I'll start throwing in strikes with my submissions. You can mix it up, play it by ear. When you're first starting out, number one thing I would focus on is just positioning, movement, and being fluid with everything you do. So what we're going to start with is just a basic knee on stomach position since I'm already here. So there's two basic ways. There's the hopping version, where I'm going to plant my weight right here on my arms, explode off my opposite leg, and then come over, explode, and come over, and come over. And notice this leg is off the mat. The second way is when we're keeping the weight, we're going to bring both knees, pivot, and come on. Bring both knees, pivoting it back out, and come on. From here, we can just transition right into our mount, like so. I like to get to a low mount sometimes. I'll extend my body and bring my feet up like so. Just thereby simulating the grapevine mount on someone. Or I can transition from here into a higher mount, possibly even what's called a fat boy mount. And from here, I'll even transition into what's called the S mount or the Z mount, where my body's turned a full 90 degrees and I'm making it an S with my legs. For this, I kind of imagine like a triangle where my knee and my foot come together at the very top. This mount's really great for setting up your arm bars and staying away from your opponent's hips. Now for what we're doing, I'm going to stay on this side as the head and this side as the hips, so I'm staying away from these little metal things. You're not going to hang the bags. If you're purely for grappling, you might just cut these off, or just throw some duct tape over them so you don't end up whacking your knee on it one day. So I'm right here. From here, I can transition either back into my regular mount. By doing so, I'm simply going to extend this leg, put my weight on my arms to make my hips kind of weightless, extend it, and then bring it back. Or I can go right here and just kind of flare off, as it's called. Bring this leg here, on here. Now, whenever I'm doing this, I'm always imagining I'm on a live opponent. So I always want to control their hips. So right now, I'm blocking hips on this side with my hip and on this side with my elbow. Now, I'm going to do a step over and go to a north and south position. Remembering this is the head and these are the hips down here. I'm going to take this leg here and I'm going to step over to this position. And I'm going to make sure my hands transition properly so my opponent can't escape. So as I'm going, I'm going to extend my arms, come up on my chest, and come here to north and south. I can go like this, or I can kind of sprawl out on them and imagine dropping my hip into their face to cause more pressure. From here, I'm going to do what's called the scorpion maneuver. I'm going to take this hand right here, bring it over here, and then do a back step into the same position on the other side. So I'll do that again. I'll go back over. So I'm taking my arms and I'm going to shift them first. Go to my chest, step over, and then reverse it. So I'm always controlling the hips right here with my elbow and here with my hips. So again, and back over. From here, I'm just going to thread the needle and go here. I'm going to go back and just step this leg back, bring this one through, and go here. This position is most commonly referred to as Kazakatami in Jiu-jitsu and Judo. I call this basic high side control, chest on chest, exterior side control, and then here, low side control, where I'm facing their legs. This is also, some people call this twister side control, as they're trying to go for the twister maneuver, made famous by Eddie Bravo, or either going for the back take. So from here, I'll just do the same motion I did going the other way. I'm just going to step over and go right to the mount. Sometimes I'll simulate things by bringing my opponent's knees down. His knees are here, I'll bring them down, and then step over into my mount. Once I'm mounted, I can just do the same thing and do that scorpion maneuver, and boom, I'm back over here. So let's just go over that from a different angle. So I'm starting here. Just going to step my foot over, bring my hands up, go to the chest, and the scorpion, and then come right back. Then from here, from this high side control, I can then go to my knees, switch, making sure I'm always controlling. Right now I'm controlling with my left knee, my right hand. I'm going to switch that, bam, my hip and my arm, then I'm going to step over, and I'm right up. That's what I call doing the clock. I'm just going full 360 around the bag, just getting my awareness down. Now, from here, I'm just going to do my scorpion, come off, controlling the hips, and then from here, back to my knees, controlling with my elbow, my right elbow, my right knee, switching out like so. Now, that's not the only way you go north and south. Sometimes you can just go here, block with the knee. Sometimes you like have this leg out here or out here, all depending on you and your style of jiu-jitsu, what kind of game you're trying to play. Also start playing with just my hand position, having my hands here or having my hands here. Especially working with the gi, what kind of arm bar or other gi choke you're trying to set up. Really important. Sometimes I'll just sit here for a few seconds and just practice those transitions. Notice that flare off was a much more subtle one, where I'm simply here, and maybe the guy's bridging or shrimping or something, and in order to counter that pressure, put my arms out kind of wide, go up to knee on stomach, or just bring it right in, kind of like you're sliding into home base. So again, I can even go back that way, sometimes by surprise. The guy's legs will extend, he's not blocking, kind of fitting the mount. Maybe I'm putting good pressure on his neck, I'm practicing here. And I'll just step that over nice and quick. So, lots of different variations to play with this. I'm just going to give you a few of them, my favorites and top moves. So from here, once again, I can switch also to the fat boy mount, where one leg is down, one is up. Call the fat boy mount because if you're trying to mount someone much larger than you, barrel chested or barrel stomach, and you try to mount them, you're a smaller guy, and your knees can't touch from here, switching over to this. From here into your S mount, like so, and then you now to practice going backward. It's a little practice. You gotta really extend that leg, put that weight, and come back here. So you're gonna be here from your S, and then here and back. But you can also go S and then flare off if something fails. The guy's got a really good bridge. A lot of movement. It's hard to hold still. And I'm back in here. You just want to keep my head down when I'm doing all this. Just keeping it up so you can hear me more clearly. So normally I'm going to be here hugging the bag. We went over our knee on stomach. I'll do it again from this position. When I'm on knee on stomach, I can start from here. I'll do a push-up, holding the guy's shoulders and hips in place. Position here. Might have my hands here. Might be going for a cross choke or something. And I'll switch on and I'll switch off. So we'll go ahead and take those motions and put them together with a couple of others. You kind of taste what it looks like. I'm going for time. So let's go here. Now, throwing some submissions. I'm gonna go two ways. One, simply just imagining. So I'm gonna go from my arm bar, my diamond arm bar, or simply go here, bring this up with the weight, and then I come back. From here, practice my transition. If I fail or something goes wrong, scissor my legs, and right back up on top. So I might go for reps in this, might go for 20, might go for 10, might go for 5 minutes the whole time. Come here, and back up, and back up. Just arm bar and recover, like so. You can also go for different arm bars. You can go for the face press, arm drag, arm bar. I'm going more here, pulling up on the guy's arm, putting that weight just on one arm, hitting my S mount, and then bringing it in, and then bringing it back. And notice tight hamstring clamp to work on that. You can also, instead of going here, scissoring up, sometimes I'll switch and go to a side control. Like this, a high side control in case of katana. You can also go knee on stomach, hit the near arm bar, come back with it. Or I can go knee on stomach, he pushes on my knee, step over, hit the far arm bar, and come back up into my position. Make sense? Let's do a little bit from the side with the submissions. So mainly I go on the arm bars. So it's the close arm bar, maybe I'll set up a E-choke, or go for a neck crank or something. Try to push my arm off, step over, hit that arm bar. Make sure to pinch tight with that hamstring. Here's what I'm pulling the bag into. And if I fail, I'll just come back up. Do a side control, come back, get my transition down. Okay? So, over here, once again, the far arm bar. He's pushing here. I'll just unhook the arm, push on the face, come over, bam, far arm bar, control the body here. I like to go over 90, which is my system of jiu-jitsu, instead of falling here. A lot of guys just like to fall here at 90. I like to overdo it. I find it a lot more successful. These kind of speed moves of coming here and controlling the body. And back up. You can also do this with the gi. Now, as I'll show you next.